Hello and welcome back to the finishing line for episode 11.
Correct.
11 of the Ante-Post series. And it's just the three of us for today. Tom's busy, but we have got some more Ante-Post selections for you. He's not busy.
He just has shit internet. Out more.
There's me trying to give him a nice excuse, but
you don't call anyone slack around here, Joe.
Tom saying call you Joe. We don't give anyone.
Well, Tom just hasn't. All right, fine. It's terrible. Tom's not here. Sorry about that, but you have got us three anyway. And we're trying to keep you covered with perhaps some winners and maybe some value, but we'll obviously find that bit out in March. Just with some more Ante-Post selections. Shouldn't take us too long. How are you, lads? You both all right?
I'm grand and good now, and seeing Sean got value today with one of his selections.
Yeah, today wasn't great, Joe. One of them went down to Swanee. Now, in fairness, I haven't got hit yet, and this was the fourth one now. And
they hurt.
No, but like I haven't had a big injury. Like this is the fourth injury, and we've 6 weeks to go. And I was feeling confident that they were. I was feeling that they were going to get there. Now I feel like I'm going to lose about 3 or 4.
Yeah, I've got 3 that have stung me this year. I started off with Impervious, then I replaced her with Halka de Tabert. She's also out. And then I put in the pocket up for the Turner. So I think I'm just bad luck, to be honest, this season. But anyway, we'll see how we go. Sean, do you want to kick us off this week with your first selection?
Yeah, look, I'm gonna dig into the handicaps. I think the novice races are gonna sort themselves. Yeah, it's a bold shout this early, but there's a couple of bookies where I know we put up our selections, but there is a couple of non-runner money back if you fancy taking a shorter price. I think the novice races are going to sort themselves out over the next 2 weeks. Like hurdlers and chasers, you have Cheltenham this weekend and the Dublin Racing Festival the week after. So I'm going to keep my powder dry in them races, and I'm going to go to the Kim Muir, and it's going to be Percival Legawa, trained by Gavin Cromwell at 16-1. I'm going to take a shot here. He was entered up at the Dublin Racing Festival I wanted to see last week, and he's collected a mark of 132. I reckon with a bit of tax on top, he might get to £5 we might add. Depending on what side of the bed the handicapper wakes up on, he could get 10. But I'm hoping he's mid to high 130s and he gets in there. Obviously, it's a 0 to 145. You have Meeting to the Water currently at the top of the market, who's out of that bracket, so he can't run at the moment. So I think that market is definitely one you can look at if you think you have a fancy. But last season, look, he showed decent form last season. He went and landed the big DRF handicap. He won very well that day. I went back and had a look today, and he's pulled away, beating Grozny, who was well backed on the day. So I don't think trip is going to be an issue, although we've seen him race over shorter distances this season. He was popped out early. He went the first run at Galway, where he was very good over his fences. He was slick and fast. He ended up taking up the lead with a lap to go, and they didn't get near him. Meeting to the Water was in that race now, and no, he probably wasn't running to his full merits on them days, but he tried to go out with him on the last lap, and he ended up back
to his full merits. Wow.
Yeah, that doesn't happen at all. Like, I can tell you that. Meeting of the Waters was a long way back and forth, but this lad, if you have a look, he won pulling a cart. He was a double handful of Mark Walsh's hand, and I think that was his taste of offences. He was then stepped up into graded company at Cork, where he was beaten by Let's Be Clear About It, but he came down at the third last. He was ridden a bit differently that day, and I think they were letting him find his feet. And he ended up coming in with his challenge at the third last, where he came down. And I think he could have played a hand. If you had the one, I'm not too sure. Let's Be Clear About It was in there. You also have Lucid Dream, a couple of others that have run well in handicaps. So the form is being tested. Lucid Dream was in behind Uncle Phil the last day in the big Ferdy house, and so was Let's Be Clear About It. He then went to the Drimmore, another race over 2.5 miles, where he wanted no part to play, and he definitely didn't run to his merits. He was held up out the back of the field in a grade 1, third run to collect his handicap mark, and I can understand. You sort of like the way they went, no messing about, straight into grade 1 where they know he has no chance. He was out the back, and he's learned his lessons. He popped away. So I think he's been given one ride at Galway where he showed his potential and came down, unfortunately, at Cork, where we didn't find out. But the last day was simply, you're going to look and say he's come last, but it was simply collecting a handicap mark. I think he'll go to Kim Muir because I can see JP having a couple for the plate. He has so Scottish and another way of thinking up the top of the plate market at the moment. I don't see him running in the ultimate. It's not a race that the Irish take out. And with the mark that he's off at the moment, I can see him being the Kim Muir. Like you said, he stayed 3 miles over hurdles. He hit the line very hard at Leopardstown last year. So I don't think it'd be a worry going up to a Kim Muir. He's going to get a nice rate. And I think JP could, hopefully, JP sees the opportunity here, steps him up, and we have Percival Legawa on the book at 16-1 for the Kim Muir.
16-1, great price there, nice angle. I know you mentioned him to us like a few weeks ago as well, so he's been on your radar now a little while, hasn't he?
He was ended up in an amateurs race at Punchestown. He wasn't declared. I'd say they probably didn't like the mark that they got there and didn't want to push it too far. So he's in at the DRF, hot race. I don't know if he'll make it into that race. He's like 30 something down. He need a good field to come out. So it'll be interesting to see if he gets in there. But if he doesn't get in, I won't be too disappointed, to be honest with you.
Yeah, interesting to know if you've got the numbers worked out there. Go on, Andrew.
I said he's a good horse. His jumping has been shocking the last 2 runs. I know he wasn't put into the race at all in a grade 1, but he was coming there with a challenge. He was there to try to win a Cork, and he just couldn't find his feet. I see where you're coming with him, and he's definitely
he's up.
Yeah.
Sorry. I think he's definitely a handicap plot. I think JP might have nicer ones. Like another way of thinking is up there, grade 1 level. I think he might be stronger in a play. So I can see this lad getting pushed out further in distance. And as I said, the ultimate is not a race we target, the Irish. And I'd say it'd be the Kim Muir off that sort of mark.
He's right man anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
He's won it a few times. He's won it with any second now. And there was another one.
He's won it with a couple. He's won it with a couple, and I think the fact that he has a couple for the play, he's 12-1, no money back with William Hill. If anyone like that eliminates the risk of him not running there, but he's 16-1 if you want to go straight on the nose.
Yeah, all right, nice one, Sean. And Sonny Hill Boy. Just remember that was the other one. Sonny Hill Boy, you won it with as well. Remember. Okay, and so that's Percival Legawa for Sean in the Kim Muir, 16-1 or 12-1 non-runner, no bet if that's what you fancy. Andrew, who have you got for us in this episode?
I'm going National Hunt Chase.
Oh, nice.
Manila Kokona. This market is. Oh, I thought I'm at the closing. This market is it's wide open as we look at it. I'm just getting up here now. Sorry, 2 seconds. But I got to Manila Kokona. He was a very good hurdler, grade 1 winner at the Dublin Race Festival over 2 miles 6. Placed in at Cheltenham and Punchestown Festival. He's a horse who, if you go back to his beginner chase at Gowan Park in 2022, he's behind Classic Getaway. He's had a 397-day break after that. He's obviously something happened to him. Came back at Christmas time and was 43 lengths behind Fact the Fire. Now, he went off 5-2 night before that day, and there was not a hope in hell Paul Townend wanted any interest in getting into a race in this. He was kept out wide. He slowed it. I'm convinced he slowed his horse down the back straight on purpose and looked like he was giving him a breather or whatnot. And people were writing him off then, oh, this horse has no hope now at Nav and whatnot. But he duly went on and done what he had to do to get into the National Hunt Chase. I know Sean really likes Nick Rock for this, but to me, Manila Kokona is a miles better horse than him. And Nick Rock is running the weekend, I believe, and he has to, I think, win or place to get into the race. He's currently 10-1 best price. I think this will be Patrick's horse. He's a very classy horse. He's after calming down a bit. He used to be a tearaway. I remember we were up in the Dublin Race Festival, and this fellow was tearing around the place in the front, and he pissed up in it. Who was in that race? Manila Crooner was in that.
I can remember the race. I just can't think of who they actually were, but I can remember the race. He won it well, didn't he? Powerful.
He did. A ton of batons shit internet. Oh, Manila Kokona, Hollow Games, Brom was in the Grand Jury. Look, he had the race 1 miles out. So there's a lot of, he's only at the race 9 times on the rules. There's a lot more racing. He's very lightly raced for his age. He's an 8-year-old. I just think the last day, if you go back and watch this race in Navan when he beats Senior Chief, it was Henry's horse. He looked to be in control of the race the whole way. He doesn't always have to make the run. You can drop him in, and they're going to go at pace here because you have Brissett and Percy in here as well. So it's going to be a lot of pace. He's going to be able to settle in behind. His jumping was very good at Navan. I just think he's a very I say classy horse, a very, very good horse in what is a race that has, like, you have Embassy Garden, he's entered the weekend, don't know what he's going to run. You have Florent Porter, Corbett's Cross, who's jumping, is very, very sticky, but he could be the one that upset. Nick Rocker just can't take the moving of the waters. Who knows if he goes here. Salvador Ziggy, I can't have him in a million years. Tricar Bragg, he's what trip does he want? 6 miles? Who knows?
He is what he is, isn't he? He is what he is, you know?
It's a race that's really, look, it always comes down to the top of the market kind of a race. And I think if you look at it here, 7-1 the field, it'll come the day it'll be 5-2 of the field. It's going to be something like that. So if you're looking at a horse that you really like in it, look, the famous word, you're going to get value at this time of the year. And there's more or less Manila Kokona, this is the race he's going to go because he hasn't a hope in hell in any of the novice races. So I think he has a massive chance at 10-1. And he's one of these horses that's very likely raced, as I said, for his age. And there could be any amount of improvement to come after his last one. So I'm very keen on him 10-1. I think he'll run a massive, massive race in this. Yeah,
nice horse indeed. I think himself and Embassy Gardens need one more run, I believe, don't they?
Nick Rocket and Embassy Gardens need one more. I think Kakuna's fine.
He ran.
Nick Rocket needs to run over the trip, doesn't he? And then Embassy Gardens and
needs one more run.
Kakuna need one more run, but they'll get it. They will get it. So I will.
Down the 3 runs.
Okay. Yeah, Kakuna's had 3. He's good.
He had his beginner chase at Gorn 2022, so that's 1 run as an novice.
Fair enough. No bother. So there's Manila Kakuna then for Andrew, double figure price at 10-1 for the National Hunt Chase. And for this week, I'm going to go to the Brown Advisory Chase. I like always say that's still double figure price. What have I put up so far? Cargeese and High Class Hero last week. This week, I'm going to go for Monty's Star. I think he's a really likable type going places. And he finished behind Corbett's Cross at Fairy House over 2.5 miles, but he was much better when he stepped up to 3 miles next time out, where he beat 3-Card Bragg, who we know is a little bit of a pig and just stays forever. But Monty's Star did everything quite nicely. He's been targeted and pinpointed now as this is going to be his race to go to. I know it's quite easy to say this, obviously, with the same sort of Barry Maloney colours as Manila Indo, but he does remind me of a similar sort. He's going to run quite well here, and he's probably then going to go on as well to try and become a Gold Cup horse next season too. So each way isn't really my angle for Ante-Post punting, but I'd give him a pretty solid squeaker at 16-1 each way. He's going to be at least half that on the day, and probably going to be one of the main sort of contenders here outside of the top couple in the market. So Monty's Star for me. 3 double figure prices then this week, lads.
Do you think he has what it takes to upset a few of them? This is getting a strong enough race now at this stage. I liked his last one. I thought he'd end up going to the National Chase after that. Jeez,
this is the thing, to be fair, because he's not totally one-paced, but he doesn't exactly have like a stay-away fade turn of foot. Like, he is just an out-and-out galloper, but
his jumping is dynamite.
Yeah, he isn't going to be far. He doesn't do much wrong during his races. So I think if you wanted an each-way punt at this time of the year, which again might get ridiculed for, he is a decent price at 16-1. He's coming here. He's solid. He'll find Cheltenham no problem as well. Sean said obviously he is a good jumper too. So I hope he'd be good enough to get competitive. That's my angle here, Andrew. Whilst he's a double figure price, at least I think he'd be worth taking some sort of chance on it.
Yeah, I think they learned their lesson last year. They had a tough enough race at Torless, and I think they thought that got to the bottom of him, then got to Cheltenham. So I'd say he'd be given a nicer preparation going in this year.
Definitely. I mean, look, that step up to 3 miles last time was mustard. Like, he really did look like a proper good horse. So like the visuals worked for me that time. Jumped nice enough. That'll do for me, lads. 16-1 each way. Let's go with Monty's Star. So, all right. So that's the Ante-Post episode number 11 for this week. That will be out. When will it be out, Andrew? Is it Friday? Something like that?
Yeah, it's out right now this morning.
Out now, Joe.
Oh, yeah, of course. It's out now. Yeah. It's like... Oh, that's excellent. I love it. Cool. Well, thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Tom will be back with us soon, I'm sure. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Really do appreciate you all tuning in. We'll be back again real soon. Bye for now.
We're back. What do we think of it? And while Double Racing Festival is on next week, the Double Racing Festival preview is on next Thursday. We're not going Wednesday. We're going Thursday because we'll have Dix for Saturday. So we're going live Thursday, 8 o'clock next week for the Double Racing Festival preview.
Perfect. Awesome.
Then we're going to get really drunk up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, bar Sean, Tito, or Fanta, and all that jazz.
Oh, don't do that.
Until then, we see you Thursday.
Hello all, I'm back again for the Ante-Post show. I'm not in the gym for once. And a few messages from people asking am I okay, and asking the lads am I okay. Just extremely busy in work, so took some time off so I can get a lot of stuff done and then go and enjoy Dublin Racing Festival. So that's where we're at. Ante-Post show. The markets are starting to shape up now. Good news that Allaho is out this week, amongst others, and yeah, the next couple of weeks will tell a lot. Dublin Racing Festival, good card at Cheltenham as well over the weekend. So then it kind of winds down, and we're picking out horses that we're going to be really strong on. And this week for me, it's one I've liked, one I put up as a horse to follow. I'm really happy with how he's been. Horse to follow at the start of the season, and he has not let me down. The Stayers Market, I thought Gaelic Water would win it. Obviously went over fences, and then I was hoping for this lad, and it's Irish Point, 4-1 best price. Think it's time to get him in now. Same owners as T-Hupo, but I think he's the classier horse, and I think they will kind of have to run. With Bob Ollinger coming back to form, I see him maybe going to Aintree, 2.5 mile hurdle, and I just think Irish Point is very, very classy. The French horse is gone. To be honest, I didn't really see him as a danger. Different type of racing over there. Seeing French horses come over and getting beat like Casbah Bliss. There's a few others. Gemix was well touted one years ago, and ran no kind of race then at Cheltenham in a trial, won by more of that years ago. So I didn't really see him as a danger. I really like Crambo. I had Crambo over Christmas, and I see it between Crambo and Irish Point. I want to take on the horses from last year and the older brigade. Good horses that they are, but the fact that T-Hupo couldn't beat Sire de Burley last year is enough for me to take him on. I think he's very ground dependent. He loves that heavy ground, and I just think Irish Point is a bit classier. He has that turn of pace that you might just need to get away from horses. Showed he really stayed at Leopardstown over Christmas, and I'm very happy with Irish Point and willing to weigh in.